Howdy YouTube family, it's Bolt CRNA coming to you again with another day's topic. Today I have my buddy here, Dane Gaines. He's actually a classmate of mine in CRNA school, and we are here to talk about the 3 tips that Dane has to keep fit in CRNA school. So let's get into it.
So my first tip would have to be time management, and I'll get into exactly what I mean by that, but you should probably already be good at time management, being that you're in anesthesia school now. If you're not, it will definitely make you better at it, but you're going to be in clinical, you're going to be studying a lot, you're going to have exams, so finding time to get into the gym, finding out where the gyms are around the locations that you're going to be at, like around your clinical sites, around your school, around where you live. If fitness is something that's important to you, which I figured is, that's why you're watching this video, but finding a 24-hour gym, because on the weekends or something you may be going at times past where typical gyms would close, at 4 or 5.
That's a good point, because you may be so busy with studying or class or a clinical rotation, you may not be able to get to the gym at 5 p.m. It may be an 8 p.m. or it might be a 5 a.m. before clinicals, 3 a.m. Yeah, so sometimes you're going to have to go at odd hours to get that fitness time in.
And I'm going to admit there are going to be some days you're not going to be able to go. If you get off late and have to be up early the next morning, it's probably not the smartest thing for you to go and try to exert yourself when you're probably already in a deficit. But time management, carving out some time for you to work out, mainly with, as far as my experience, would be after clinical on the days where I got out at a decent time and I knew I had time to put in some good work. And also I use the gym as my study breaks. So on the weekends I would get up, set my alarm, I'd study 4 or 5 hours, take a study break for an hour just to rest your brain and be able to start fresh when you get back and go and get a good workout in and then come back and hit the books again. So time management would definitely be number 1.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I used to listen to audio recordings of our lectures when I would go run track and stuff like that. So I would end up listening and studying while at the same time, getting in fitness and stuff, pumping endorphins, and also kind of de-stressing a little bit, which is also what I use exercise a lot for.
Exactly. And that kind of ties into my second second tip, which would be efficient when you do have your time in the gym. So for me, as far as my experience, my goals were to maintain the size that I built over the past 5 or 6 years of working out, maintain the strength that I'd acquired over the past 5 or 6 years of working out. So, it can be pretty devastating to go into the gym after a couple months and, be lifting 50 pounds less than you were. You worked so hard. Yeah. And so being efficient, if you have an hour, you can do any muscle group in an hour. That's plenty of time. If you have 30 minutes, you may have to be a little more diligent about maybe doing supersets or a couple different muscle groups, but doing giant sets, things back to back, more high volume workout and not a lower volume, heavier weight workout, which typically those require more time. So just doing something to get some blood in the muscle. If you're trying to maintain size, that's going to be important. Go in the gym, get a pump, focus on that muscle group that you're wanting to work out, and that'll keep the muscle around.
How many days a week do you recommend going if you're trying to get your size up and keep muscle gain?
As many as you can if they're good days. It doesn't mean don't go if you only have 10 or 15 minutes. Still, just go in there, get some blood moving, do something. It's going to be good for your mental health and your physical health as far as maintaining your strength.
Yeah. What muscle groups do you typically group together when you do a day?
It's a good question. I like to do one muscle group at a time if I can. Sometimes complementary muscle groups I will do because it's beneficial. It's easier to do them, like chest and triceps because your triceps are an accessory muscle. Back and biceps because your biceps are an accessory muscle. You could do arms together. Shoulders you can throw in with chest day. If you don't have a lot of time, you're going to have to group some of those together. If you can only go 2 days that week, you could do an upper body split and a lower body split. If you can go 3 days, you could do a push, pull, and then a lower body split. So chest, triceps, shoulders, back, biceps, and then a leg day.
So you did a really good job of identifying like days you need to be going to the gym, some different muscle groups you should be working out, and how to keep the pump up. So what about diet? Because I know diet is a big part of maintaining muscle gain and just not putting on weight, which is probably what a lot of viewers here are going to be interested in. It's not just putting on muscle, but also making sure they don't become overweight and unhappy with themselves and their mental image of themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tip number 3. And I'll tell you some of the tricks that I've used that make it a little easier for me. So diet's definitely number 3. And then this is related to anybody. I've talked about my experience as far as not wanting to lose my size and strength gains and things like that. But anybody can take, good things away from these topics. But as far as diet, one of the things that I did was I would purposefully, and you don't want to tell people that because people will be breaking in your car. I'd purposely leave my wallet locked up inside the console and with my car locked inside my vehicle in the parking lot or the parking garage, and I would only take my food in with me, so I was forced to eat that food or I wasn't going to eat anything. And so you have a 10-11 hour clinical day sometimes, and within that time period you've only eaten good food. And when you get out, it's easier, I've found, on some of those clinical days because you're so pressed for time. You're not sitting around thinking about, oh man, I wish I had a donut, or I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. So that kind of, if you do have a craving of I want some fried food, or go down to the cafeteria and get French fries and chicken or something like that, you don't have your wallet with you, so you have to go all the way back to your car. So it forces you to eat, your healthy foods. And I would typically say lean proteins and vegetables, because a lower carbohydrate diet during anesthesia school is going to be the best probably for gaining muscle, also when not gaining weight.
That is a good idea, actually, and I never have actually done that. I'm not that intense, but there are some clinical sites we go to that feed us, like they offer, the physician's lounge is open to us, so that we get free food either in the cafeteria or the physician's lounge. So those are the situations where I can bring something healthy if I'm trying to be healthy, like a salad or something, and I will still find myself, after a stressful first 6 hours of clinical or whatever, I will find myself going to the lounge and getting like the chocolate cake or the whatever, because it's free. So it's hard to turn that stuff down, but you can try. That's a good idea. Don't bring your wallet. At least then you can't buy extra stuff.
And you do get to that point sometimes where it's like, man, I've killed myself today, or I had a good day, I've done all this, and like I'm just gonna eat what I want.
Yeah. And
that's okay too, but that's even more the reason to get in the gym and use that. If you are gonna eat something bad, just try to make sure it's on one of those days where you are able to get in the gym and put it to work. Put those carbs to work, put the sugar to work, and don't eat it right before you go to bed. We could get into a million diet tips and things like that, but along with that, I want to talk about some of the supplements that I would use. It's kind of specifically related to not having a lot of time, the stress of anesthesia school, and things that have helped me. There's been multiple days where I haven't ate anything within the whole clinical day. You didn't have time or forgot food or something. If you're trying to gain weight as far as muscle mass and be efficient in the gym, some branched chain amino acids is probably the number one supplement I would recommend. Some highly branched cyclic dextrin, which is a carbohydrate supplement, something that you can take directly when, keep it in your bag in your car. Keep a gym bag, keep some clothes, some shoes, a shaker cup, and your supplements with you at all times, so you don't have to go back home, change, make all your shakes up, and then go to the gym. It's going to save you time. So keep it with you, and something that you can drink that's assimilated quickly. It's not heavy on your digestive system. It doesn't require your body to move a lot of blood and do a lot of work to get the nutrients into your body. So branched chain amino acids, highly branched cyclic dextrin, you can chug it, go to the gym. It's already in your system. You're ready to push some weight.
Nice. And I can vouch for Dane. I've shared a room with him at clinical sites before where we stay in a dorm room together. And he'll have a giant bowl of like raw, or it's cooked, but it's like lean beef or chicken or something like that, and steamed broccoli and like water or something, and like that's his whole dinner. And I'm over there eating like half a pizza or some junk like that. So he sticks to it. He's true to what he recommends.
Yeah, so those are the 3 things that I would recommend. And overall, you're going to figure out what works for you. But if this is something that's important to you, it definitely can be done. I've maintained my size, I've maintained my strength even through the toughest times. And anesthesia school is stressful. You're going to be stressed out. You're not going to be getting quite as much sleep sometimes as you would like. So if you have some natural supplements that you like or that you've tried to help you sleep, those are great. Valerian root's a natural supplement that actually has clinical research that shows that it works. It's not like taking Benadryl or something. Some people that makes them hyper, some people that puts them to sleep. Ashwagandha, that's another supplement that decreases cortisol levels. So I'll take that the night before an exam or on exam days or on, you've had a tough clinical day or before clinicals when you're stressed, just to help, reduce that stress response, because cortisol and stress will definitely make you hold on to fat and make you catabolic. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone. That's not something you want if you're trying to be anabolic and gain muscle. So,
and CRNA school is the fastest way to have a lot of cortisol in your system, just 24/7 all the time. So finding ways to supplements and exercises to help combat that, very important. Well, all right, guys. So that was our 3 tips to staying fit or getting ripped in CRNA school: time management, being efficient with your workouts, and diet and supplements. Now that you know the information, you can go out there and do it. That's actually the hard part, actually enacting all these things and not eating the cheesecake every night that you want to eat. But I know you can do it. I do it half the time. Like I've got a little muscle. It's not what Dane's got, but I got a little bit, and I eat the cheesecake half the time, I'll say. So just find some balance in your life. And if you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to Dane. He's over at Instagram, Dane Gains, and he's over there trying to inspire people to, flex and to build those muscles and, be impressive out there in the gym. So follow him over there at Instagram. And if you have any questions, comments below, and that's Bolt out.